No one disdains to be snapped more than he who snaps people. Welcome to sign 206 of section 25 of chapter 2 of the Holy Quran. وإذا قيل له اتقوا الله أحس أخذته العزة بالإثم. When it is said to them, fear God, اتقوا Allah, he is led by arrogance. Uh, he is led by arrogance to more crime. The word more is in brackets. Without it, it reads, he is led by arrogance to crime. Aha, Zatuhu led. Izatu bil ithmi. Izatu bil ithmi is led by arrogance to more crime. Uh, فحسبه الجهنم. Sorry, فحسبه الجهنم. جهنم. فحسبه جهنم. Enough for him is hell. Enough. Asbahu. Hasbunallahi wa ni'mal wakil. Hasbahu. Enough for him is hell. Jahannam. Fahasbahu. Sorry, fahasbuhu, not hasbahu. Pardon me. Wahasbuhu. I just read hasbunallahi. I just read it. And yet I'm saying here hasba. Hasbuhu Jahannama. Enough for him is hell. Then semicolon and then dash. In other words, what is Jahannama? Wabi'isal mahadu. Wabi'isal al mihad. Wabi'isal mihad. Wabisa al mihad. Dash and inverted commas. An evil bed indeed. An evil bed indeed. And then in brackets again, to lie on. So an evil bed indeed to lie on. Note 228. Note 228. Or does it have two notes? I think we did 227. Yeah, we did two. So we go to note 228. And it's against an evil bed. Bi'asal mihad. Evil bed to lie on. According to the English saying, as you have made your bed, so you must lie in it. No wonder there's an Englishman who did this interpretation. I believe. No Arab could do interpretation like this. He did it in conjunction with Arabs. They would tell him, they would read, and then he would do the interpretation, of course, with some knowledge of Arabic. Of course, more than my knowledge now in Arabic. Okay, so according to the English saying, as you have made your bed, so you must lie in it. And that's note 228 to sign 206. Let's go to sign 2079. Let's go to 207 now. You see, and I said let's go to 2079. No good batch out. Okay, let's go to 207 now. ومن الناس من يشري نفسه ابتغاء ابتغاء mardatin lahi. Ibtigai mardatin lahi, the pleasure of God. Mardatin lahi. uh And there is a type of man, min and nas, the type of man who gives his life to earn the pleasure of God, to earn the pleasure of ibtigai, wishing. Yes, ibtigai is ibtigaa, wishing the pleasure of God. Mhm. Um, oh, I didn't finish the sentence. Ibtigai mardatillahi. Ita mardatillahi. Wallahu raufun bil wallahi raufun bil ibadi. Wallahu uh, raufun bil ibadi. And God is full of kindness to his devotees. But the word his is not in the Arabic section, so the word his is in brackets. Without the brackets, it reads, and God is full of kindness to devotees. Of course, every devotee is a devotee of God. Simple. No, 229. 229, and it's against devotees. Let's see the comment there. 229. This second type of man, firm, sincere, devoted, willing to give his life for the faith that is in him, dash, was common in early Islam. So it's there, it's been there. Mm. Such men were, such men, pardon me, uh, such men were its pillars. Well, I don't know what the second it means. Such men were its pillars. Anyway, viewers, you can reflect over it. Such men were its pillars. Full stop. Through persecution, oblique, torture, threat to their own lives or the lives of those dear to them, they stood by their leader, and many of them gave their lives. That's nafsahi, giving your soul life. Mm. And oblak is spelled, in case I don't spell it, I don't call it well, don't pronounce it well. We read it, persecution oblak. Oblak is spelled Obloquy. Mm. Uh, give their lives, give their life. Full stop. That is what established Islam, and it's still going on today. When people give their lives for their right, for God. Look at the Palestinians today. Hmm? They are killed in thousands and still being killed, homes demolished. Hmm? And because their firm belief in God, many, many, many people are converting to Islam. So you see, this note wasn't written yesterday. It was written centuries back. It was done before, and it's been done. It will continue to be done. Devotees will always devote their lives to God, and will be firm on that. Okay, that is what established Islam, full stop. We are asked in the next verse to follow this type of shun, to follow this type and shun the other or evil type, full stop. If we do that, our cause is safe. If we do that, our cause is safe. Cause here is spelled Cause. Cause, not the other cause. If we do that, our cause is safe. And that's no 229 to sign 207. Mm, And that sign 207. Let's now go to sign 208. Oh, this is an appeal to God, mm, to God Himself, appealing to us. You can imagine how kind He is, how compassionate He is. So when we say, "Who are Rahim," He is compassionate, merciful, enough that He pleased to rest. Yes, Ya ayuhan lezina amanu, idhulu fi idhulu fi silmi. يا أيها الذين آمنوا ادخلوا في السلم كافة ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Mm. O ye who believe, enter into Islam, silmi, ادخلوا في silmi, enter into Islam wholeheartedly, kafatan, kafatan, eh? And follow not the footsteps of the Satan. ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Mm. ولا تتبعوا ولا تتبعوا. I'm now reading. Please don't mind what I said from my head. ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. إنه لكم عدو مبين. Who, Satan, is to you an avowed enemy. Mm. For he is to you an avowed enemy. إنه لكم عدو مبين. And that's sign 208 without any note. Let's go to the next sign, 209. فإن فإن زللتم من بعد ما جاءتكم وإن زللتم من بعد ما جاءتكم البينات فاعلموا أن الله عزيز حكيم. فاعلموا أن الله عزيز حكيم. If ye backslide, zalaltum, backslide. If ye backslide after the clear signs have come to you, signs is in brackets. In the Arabic, it just says bainati, only clear. Mm? Bainati meaning clear things. Here it is clear signs, interpreted as signs. So if ye backslide after clear signs have come to you, then know that God is exalted in power, wise. Alamu anna Allah azizun hakimun. Mm. Note 2, 2, 230. Remember, 208 had no note. 220, and it's against exalted in power, wise. Azizun Hakim. 230. If you backslide after the conviction has been brought home to you, you may cause some inconvenience to the cause or to those who counted upon you. But do not be arrogant as to suppose that you will defeat God's power and wisdom. The loss will be your own. If you backslide, nobody will bear the loss. Not your father, not your wife, not your son, not your daughter, not your uncle. No relation of yours or friend of yours will bear the loss if they didn't backslide. You are the one to bear the loss. May God forbid me. Even as I read now, if I backslide and do The wrong is, I will be at loss. Nobody else but I myself. Like I said, may God forbid. Mm? Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. And I ask for God's forgiveness. And that's sign two, that's note 230 to sign 209. Note 3, sorry, note 230 to sign 209. Then, now, can we go to 2, sign 210? Oh my God. هل ينظرون إلى أن يأتيهم الله في الظلل من الغمام. Huh? It's a question. Will they wait until God comes to them in canopies of clouds, huh? In companies of clouds? Huh? Let's stop there. في الظلل من الغمام, companies of clouds. In canopies, sorry, just a company. In canopies. Will they wait until God comes to them in canopies of clouds? Zilalan, canopy of clouds, gamami, of clouds. And wa malaikatu, with angels in his trail, with angels in his trail. In his trail is in brackets. Without the brackets, it reads wal malaikatu, with angels. Wakad wakadia al amaru. And the question is settled, but there is brackets there, and the question is thus, THUS, is thus settled, and thus is in brackets. So, uh, uh, let me take it again from the beginning. Will they wait until God comes to them in canopies of clouds with angels in the brackets in his train? And the question is thus settled. Wakadia, or Wakudia, sorry, Wakudia Amare, Wakudia Amare. Al Amare here is interpreted as question. Wa ila Allahi turju'u al amuru. Wa ila Allahi turju'u al umuru. Wa ila Allahi turju'u al umuru. But to God do all questions go back into brackets for decision. So whenever there is brackets, it reflects the meaning of what is said in the Arabic side. Because Arabic is not so, it doesn't misuse words. Pardon me to say, it doesn't use too many words. The rest comes from here. Or even they are self-explanatory, the Arabic sentences. They are self-explanatory. Do all questions return? Turju'ul Amru. Why are the questions returned there? For decisions or for decision? For decision. There is a note to it, and that's note 231. It's questions returning for decision. Questions returning for decision. 231. If faith is wanting, all sorts of excuses are made to resist the appeal of God. Full stop. They might and do say, into brackets, oh yes, we shall believe if God appears to us with his angels in his glory. brackets close, or inverted commas rather, inverted commas close, mm, sign of exclamation, and then inverted commas close. Mm. In other words, they want to settle the question in their way. They want to settle the question in their way and not in God's way. Full stop. That will not do. That will not do. I'm not saying it. The commentator is saying it. You don't settle matters in your way. You settle matters in God's way. So when you are pursuing something, let me use the word pursue. When you're desiring to have something, you're not getting it. That is not your way. That is God's way. That is God's way, not your way. Eh? You, the viewer, and not my way. I, the one talking. I mustn't get my heart's desires just like that. It is God's desires for me that He gives to me. Mm? God's way. Full stop. That will not do. I love that. That will not do. Or I would rather say that will never do. Huh? Okay, so that will not do. The decision in all questions belongs to God. If we are true to Him, we wait for His times and seasons and do not expect Him to wait on ours. Of course, let me respectfully use my own example. Some decades back, I never knew one day I would sit here and be reading the Quran on video on YouTube. In any case, there wasn't even YouTube at that time. But today I am. If it were God's will for me to do it in those days, I would have done it because there were people preaching without YouTube. I wasn't preaching. I didn't even read the Quran seriously. But today I'm doing it because that is God's will for me. Equally, God's will is there for you, the viewer, and in fact, everybody that is listening. It is God's will that happens at God's right time. We see drivers in Ghana and many other people writing, God's time is the best. You think they are bad? They are not crazy. They are not crazy. So God's time is the best. Mm. So that is what that means. Mm. Not wait on hours, and do not expect Him to wait on hours. In other words, on our times, if you like. And that's no 2, 3, 1 to sign 210. Mm, to sign 210. All right, that appears to be, in fact, not appears, that is the end of sign 210. The next sign 211 is in section 26. So section 26 begins with sign 211. And that's where we go when we come back in our next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Au revoir. May God be with you all.